Well, hello again folks. Hope yous are all still keeping well out there, and welcome to another video. And yes, I'm back out in the cattle sheds again after Corvids. I remember somebody sending a comment not so long ago about this used to be the best place to go for rabbit videos, and now I just do bird videos. Well, that just seems to be the way things is going this last year or two. Though I do hope over the holidays I'll get out with the Springer after some rabbits and hopefully get some decent footage there. But we'll just have to see, hey. But as you can see, I've got my little pop-up hide that I bought years ago from bushwear.com set up in the corner of the shed overlooking the pens and so forth, and a black camouflage net through around it to try and make it look like a silage bale. This shed has an open side to it, as most modern cattle sheds do, and this lets the air circulate around the shed, which is much healthier for the cattle. Of course, this lets the birds in and out of the shed quite easily, which come in after the meal that's set out for the livestock. It wasn't too long before I noticed a couple of feral pigeons fly into the shed and land at the far end. With the rangefinder it told me it was about 45 yards away, which is about the third line down on the LRX radical on my old Nikko Stirling 4-16x44 Targetmaster. I just needed one of the two birds to stand still enough for me to get a shot. The second bird had flew to the left hand side of the back wall and re-landed again, up in between a couple of beams, which wasn't making it terribly easy to get a good shot at it. It was a little further away than the first shot, so I allowed a little more elevation. Nope, not sure what happened there, so I had another go. Ah, now I see what's happening. I'm aiming too high, as I can see where the pellet hit the beam above it. That hit the spot. It's well jammed up there, but it finally fell out thankfully. I dandered out to pick the two birds up, but only found the second one, so I suspect the first one must have fell into one of the cattle pens. This can make them hard to retrieve at times, as the cattle knock them about the place until they're that claried they just look like another piece of dung. It wasn't the best of shots, as I hit it a little high, but it went down. Then I spotted another feral pigeon on the back wall again. I got a few feathers, but I don't think I got a solid hit in the bird, as it seemed to fly off too strongly. No problem with that jackdaw though. The rest of the birds were making a racket outside, which is usually a sign they see something they don't like, and sure enough, that first jackdaw I hit a little high had made it all the way out into the yard before dropping. Next into the shed was a couple of rooks, and I really should have taken a chest shot in this bird, but they're bigger and stronger than jackdaws, so I usually like going for a headshot, and missed.
Lucky bird.
That jackdaw wasn't so lucky though, but it's dropped onto the skywalk above the cattle, which really puts the other birds off from settling, so I had to go out and retrieve it. Oh, another rook. You can tell by that big grey pointy bill. Looks like I'm going to have to go out for another retrieval. Thankfully though, the birds usually can't see you in the shed unless they actually fly into the shed while you're dandering about though. And to make sure they can't see the other birds, I'll throw them in behind this collection of pipes and dispose of them later. I don't know how that bird flew out. That sounded like a good connection to me. There's definitely a good few jackdaws about. Oh, sit at peace, would you? When you get a headshot right, they go down a treat. This bird's only about 10 yards away, but unfortunately doesn't stay around for the shot. And that one stayed around too long for its own good. I was too slow for that one. Well, it was fun while it lasted, but I think the birds know I'm here now, so I decided to call it quits. Well folks, that's the end of this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely got more than that looking back at the footage, but those are the only 6 I could retrieve, as some of them fell into some of the other pens with the bigger bullocks, and I don't feel like getting in with them. I don't think it's really safe. But I hope to get more footage uploaded before long, hopefully some rabbit footage. But until then, take care and Look after yourselves, hey.